Here's some clear, simple, obvious career advice. Build your career around your strengths. But people often struggle to identify what those strengths are because they don't want to be cocky. There's almost a superstitious or moral quality to this fear of saying that you're good at something. Underneath this fear are ideas like pride goeth before the fall. The moment that you think you're good at something is the moment you get sloppy and trip up. Or people who go around declaring, I'm great at X, are just annoying jerks. I get it, because I'm like this too. I have an almost allergic reaction to saying I'm good at something or celebrating my wins. I almost have to cross myself with declarations of, well, it's not a big deal, or not to brag, or I'm sure I have other areas I need to improve on before I can just come out and say, hey, I'm good at this. And this belief system, it comes from a good place. You're trying really hard to not be a jerk and not get complacent and not become closed-minded to further learning and growth, all of which are admirable goals. But this belief system can also make it really hard to acknowledge the things that you actually are good at, which then makes it hard to identify the strengths that you should build your career around. It is impossible to build a product strategy if you can't acknowledge the product's competitive advantages. And it's impossible to build your own career strategy if you can't acknowledge your own competitive advantages. So today, I'm going to give you a way to do an end run around this fear of saying that you're good at something. You don't have to address the fear. You don't even have to change your belief system. You can just go around it. Here's how. Instead of asking yourself, what are my strengths or what am I good at? Ask yourself, what would I do for free, for fun on the weekends? What do I find myself doing for free, for fun, even though no one has asked me to do it? What can I not stop myself from doing? You might say something like playing poker, because I love being in a competitive environment and making bets based on my read of the situation. Or you might say stepping up and organizing my friend's bachelorette party. No one else was doing it, and I just couldn't stop myself from taking the lead, figuring out what would work for everyone, and making it the best possible party. Or you might say pawning off my work on other people. My boss wanted me to do all this stuff, but I was like, get real. I'm not doing all that. So I immediately found the right people in the company who could do most of it. Or you might say, when I watch reality TV, I'm always yelling at the screen about how they should just communicate and draw boundaries and stop blaming other people for their emotions. I wish I could just tell them that there's a better way to handle things. Or you might say, if a friend asks for my thoughts on their startup idea, I have way too much to say. I actually have to stop myself from constantly pinging them with all my perspectives and questions and thoughts about it because I don't want to annoy them. All this is to say, don't worry about what you're good at. Think about what you can't stop yourself from doing. Think about the skills, the activities, the tasks, the way of operating in the world that is so inherently natural and fun to you that not doing it is harder than doing it. Those are the things that you should build your career around. By the way, this is just step one of developing and executing your career strategy. If you want to find out what the rest of the steps are and how you can execute them consistently and successfully, come talk to me and let's get started. Go to the link above and book a free coaching consult.